interesting sight. But we're in the game, Elijah. We're kicking things off here. Nutty to ban the first operator. Who is going to guess all of these operators right?
I mean, look, I just lost, you know? There could be so many different things. I'm hoping that I'm right. They're going to take us a Maverick to surprise us all. I mean, we didn't even think about that being a possibility, but they bring it to us anyway. Getting rid of the Maverick, though, and it's not a bad choice. And definitely useful for opening up that CC and potentially those hatches as well in that bar. Getting rid of that motor, I mean, I can see it. It's going to clear up some space for sure.
For sure, and Bandits are going to ban their attack operator, and there we go. It is the knock. So we got one right. We got one right. But the Maverick, I'd say that Maverick, you know, although he doesn't get played too often, probably Clubhouse is the only map that he's probably the most useful on. You know, opening up that CC bridge, getting those catered hatches, like you said, is just so huge with that gas torch. But he's not going to be in play. But Thatcher is going to be available, so that will be interesting. And there we go. I told you, Bandits love the Solus. And there it is, banning that Solus. No pre-placed drones for Nutty or Bandits. So Nutty aren't going to be able to sort of get free reign and know where Bandits are going to place their cams. They're going to have to spot them out for themselves. But last band to come in, what do you reckon is going to be, Elijah? Is it going to be your mirror or is it going to be the Azami?
It's going to be the mirror. I mean, it has to be. Oh, the Azami. I mean, that's just as good, like, essentially. Especially for upstairs when you're holding those rafters. If you're trying to get control, you're going to have a really rough time running into those Azamis. I mean, just as useful in any site, really, especially for downstairs. You've seen a lot of Azami placements. We got to see... I remember watching Panic do it once upon a time as well. That little pixel spot that you can do between the Azamis. I mean, that's pretty dirty, right? Have you seen that before, KJ? I know you have.
I have. And, you know, if the teams utilize that, it's pretty deadly. But obviously, she's banned, so it is not available. But that Valkyrie, that mirror is available. And we see Nutty already utilizing one of those. Going to utilize that mirror. And they're going gym, bedroom to kick things off. You know, quite a comfortable site for a lot of teams, but... definitely can catch some of the attacking teams off guard. As you know, we're not going to that classic CC or downstairs in that basement of Church Arsenal. So I like this from Nutty.
Yeah, look, I like it as well. I mean, starting off here, I mean, you've still got two other comfortable sites that you can take it to if you, you know, manage to slip up here. But I don't imagine you do. Look at your lineups that you've got. You've got the castles as well to block off line the site's rotations as well. We're seeing Ajax with the Wamai accompanied by the ADSs of Squish as well running onto that Jaeger. Not to mention, Wamai has that 1.5 site now that was added in that recent patch as well. So he's got even more gun potential than before.
Yeah, and I think with the way that Bandits are going to play, you know, they have two sets of nades, so having that util denial of that Jaeger and Wamai is definitely going to help with that, but they do have the Thatcher EMP, so if they, you know, throw it in the right spot, they can disrupt those discs and those ADSs, but Ajax, the first to find MML on the roam there, bit of a lurk from him, and that's one set of nades gone, and that is not an early pick you want to happen for your attacking side, but Ajax, he finds it.
You can tell Nutty Gaming are not looking to give up CCTV without a little bit too much of a fight as well. You've got all the Wamais and the ADSs to help you hold that red hole as well. You've got the exothermic charges going off into construction to try and block off a little bit of those rotates from the players who are playing inside of that cache. So that's two players who are locked off, Squish and... Ajax as well, so they're a bit separated from the rest of their team as of yet, so they're gonna have to try and rotate back if Bandits do choose to do a hard execute. Looks like they are getting that underway though, as they open up that spar wall as well, Organiser to get some of that soft destruction onto those castles as well. Just gonna cook a little bit of grenade here to get rid of this second castle.
Yeah, I think he doesn't want to get jumped out on or shot or pre-fired having that sledgehammer out, so he's going to utilize that nade to open that one up. But Ajax, he's stuck down here in bottom garage, all the bullets flying through that soft wall, and I don't think he spotted that drone on top of Oil Pit, but Organiser to finally find the return onto Squish, and that evens things up here as we approach that minute mark left in the round. You know, I think Bandits, they've got all the right sort of control. They don't really have cash just yet, but they have this jacuzzi wall open, and that is huge. And taking out Glut in bathroom, that's another pick that you need to get onto this side. But Raindrops, he's underneath this window, ready for a jump in or someone to push in close.
I don't think that they've quite read into the fact that he's there, though. JPK is going to take the head off Darko, though, to free up some space, and it'll just be a flurry of kills in terms of Nutty Gaming just capitalizing on Bandits, and they'll take their Bandits capitalizing on, rather. So they'll take their very first win of the first round. I mean, well done, Bandits. What looked like it wasn't pullable out of nowhere. The positioning from them was just superior over Nutty, and in the end, they caught themselves off guard.
Yeah, I think Bandits, they were the first to fall. They lost MML on that bottom red, and then they sort of banded together. They got what they needed open, and then they sort of just waited. And Nutty swung them. They had all the control and utility, yet they fell. And I think that was a bit of a misplay from Nutty, and they definitely don't want to run that one back. So they're going to go down to this Church Arsenal, and they want to try and switch things up. They're bringing that Valkyrie, but they're not bringing that Mirror. So bit of a switch up there. Maybe more intel based, as they do have that pulse as well. So hopefully they can utilize those 2 C4s of those operators and maybe find a pick or two. But they are switching to that IQ. So Bandits so far adapting well.
5 seconds to insertion.
We'll see how they face up into the next matchup now as well. I got to have a quick look at that as well. They are running all the util that they need, though. They've got that Habana, the can openers as well, onto the buck. That'll definitely help them get open that hatch now that they have to clear up their checklist now. Make sure that there are no roamers upstairs. It looks like there aren't that many by the looks of things so far. It looks like they're going just for a full bunker down at the moment. You can see Ajax propped himself up nicely inside of that oil pit as well. Squishing a little bit of roaming at the bottom. Got raindrops up the top of those main stairs, ready to try and get an early pick. See if he can rotate down safely. Doesn't look like he wants to get too active as of yet, though, as the intel droning comes through from Bandits, just to make sure that everything's safe for them to push through.
Yeah, I think they're just trying to, ensure that there's no roamers above, and then I would imagine the Buck's going to start doing vert on this Arsenal. They do know that there's a pulse, so utilizing this Buck in this Logi is going to be huge for you, and you're not really contested. I think everyone's pretty much on the site now, so, yep, that's true. Everyone's on the site, so they're going to be able to get this vert for free, Elijah. They're going to be able to do this vert from Logi, and I hope that Eraser chooses to do so.
See, that's the thing that a lot of people seem to forget about. Eraser doesn't seem to like he's pushing to Logi yet, but you can open the vert from Logi, complete down, and you don't have to worry about potentially losing your life to the C4s or getting shot through the floors, essentially, because you've got that distance there for you. You see IQ, being able to utilize those scanners, trying to make sure that you don't get C4. That is definitely the top priority for the moment until you can clear up some space for the rest of your team. MML taking an engagement down into the main stairs now, trying to see if it can clear up some space. Raindrops has got the angle though, definitely making it hard for him there.
Yeah, and the hatches are opening. I think, yeah, Nutty, they're panicking a little bit. Everything's getting opened up here, and they're all running around in the side. And Eraser tags up Ducko a little bit, but not enough to take him out. But C4's flying everywhere, but no damage. No kills of it yet to come. So I think there's going to be a flurry of kills very, very soon, Elijah, and I'm keen to see it. 1 minute left on the clock, though. And I reckon that Bandits, they're going to start to work out what sort of execute they're going to go for, but I think they're going to try and take that dirt. That'd be vital. But Glut, he's holding it down. He is smoked, so he's going to be able to deny a lot of time here. And Darko's going to be able to give that intel on that pulse scanner as well. So it's going to be a tough one. I don't know who's going to win this one, but if Nutty can hold it down, they can find a round of their own.
Well, it looks like they're all cornered up at the moment, just looking to bunker down and ready for at least one player on the side of each team to try and make a mistake before they can capitalize on just trades after trades on each other. 5v5, 22 seconds left. Now the grenades come through. JPK to pick up the first pick onto Ajax now as a refrag comes back from Ducko and Squish being able to find 2 for themselves, linking to a 4v2 now. 4v3, sorry, as the Bandits come through. Nice swing bomb MML to find one. Glut's not going to let us slip though, as 7 seconds left on the board. They need to get the kit down, or they need to find these kicks. Drift to get on the kill onto Squish now to a 2v2. Has to try and get the plant down. The last 2 are in dirt now. Drift has got the angles and he's able to find both the heads and take the win for himself.
Wow. The positioning and the trades from Bandits there on that execute. That was something. But unfortunate for Nutty, their last 2 players were stuck in dirt, and all IQ has to do is hold that single doorway and hope that he doesn't get quick peeked. And Drift, he was the better one in that scenario, and they pick up their second round here. So far, so good for Bandits. They're looking good. They're looking clean. but it was a little bit rough on that execute. It did look a bit close there, but I think the positioning from them was just that little bit better.
I mean, Bandits did super well for time in the beginning of the round, right? I mean, they got drones through. They immediately took top floor control of Logi, that kitchen, the bar as well, because everybody on the side of Nutty were just bunkered downstairs. But in the end, it just took so much time. They were just waiting out each other to make the very first mistake. And then in the end, it just became just trades after trades for both of these teams. And thankfully, the positioning of Bandits were just superior to Nutty, and they were able to win themselves the second round. But I mean, by the looks of it already, you've got Ajax upstairs, and he's running that vigil. Now, he could definitely be looking for a roam game, so that could be Nutty trying to read into the fact that they need more roamers to slow down the push of Bandits so that they can make it just that much harder for their execute.
Yeah, but we did see MML. He had a cam top main, so he is aware of the vigil's presence up there, so I'm sure he would have communicated that to his team. But Drift, he's going to be careful. There is one in CC right now, so if he tries to put a breach charge, he could get taken out. And there we go, the pings from the cams know that Vigil's in CC. He's going to rotate away, and Drift, he's got the IQ, so he can actually spot if Vigil is close using that scanner. So I think running this IQ is so big for Bandits right now.
I mean, look at the positioning from everyone. I mean, they've just pinched him out now. They know exactly where he is. I hope that he is read into the fact that he pushed into Jim. MML seems like he knows. Oh, a quick little peek there is going to do just a little bit of damage, but not enough to feed him off just yet. Now they're going to relay that information back to the rest of his team to try and get a pinch on, as there is an aggressor from the gym door, gym window, sorry. He is doing well with wasting time, though. I mean, they can't pick him off just yet. He is going to do as much damage as he can, but Drift, thankfully, is going to find the kill in the end and clear it up to a 4v5 in favor of Bandits at the moment. So they've cleared that top floor now, and they've got 1:52 left to push the site.
Yeah, Drift, he's invincible right now. Look, 6-0. He's the only one in this lobby right now that hasn't fallen as of yet. So he's doing wonders for his team right now. Not only, you know, using that IQ scanner, spotting out all the util of the defense, but also picking up those frags as well. But Razor, he's going to use util of his own. Use those can openers to open up these hatches as we're approaching that halfway mark into the round. They want to start to prepare themselves to execute onto the side, but MML, bottom main, able to shut down Darko. That's your pulse off the board, so that is not a good operator to lose. And MML, another one, but Squish to finally shut him down, and it's just bodies flying everywhere.
His presence on main stairs was just unsuspecting for Nutty Gaming. They had no idea, so he was able to capitalize on 2 nice kills to get it cleared up, and that'll leave it down to Squish and Glut now to pull it together for the rest of the team. 55 seconds left to work with, and they've got so much control on the side of Bandits at the moment as they try to take that blue stairs, though Drift managing to just miss that kill onto the Jaeger. Now the kit's going to go down thanks to DDG now, but he's trying to get into an engagement. JPK will clear up Squish and make sure that blue is free, and Glut is alone inside the dirt tunnel, but a nice shot from Drift will remove him.
That was almost a flawless for Bandits. They only lost MML on that bottom main, but I liked that attack from Bandits. They took their time trying to clear that vigil. They didn't sort of rush anything, and they made sure that they were the better of that engagement. And, you know, they didn't really lose any HP either. You know, on that initial engagement and clearing of that vigil. So I think they did well there, and they're going to try and continue to do so as they keep that clean sheet. 3-0 right now, and Nutty, they're just trying to move around. They're trying to find their own momentum in this matchup on Clubhouse right now, but they're going to go back to that gym. They don't want to try that downstairs any longer. They've lost it twice. They've lost gym once, but maybe that was that first round jitters. Maybe they can clear things up. Maybe they've read into the way that Bandits are playing, and they can sort of fix things up here in round 4.
I mean, these 3 first rounds from Nutty Gaming just haven't been it at the moment. Bandits just showing up at the moment. I mean, hopefully they don't go for another 7-0. I mean, that's what we're all hoping. We want to see Nutty Gaming show up here. But I feel like they need to use a little bit more of their util. I mean, they've got so much stuff going on at the moment. They just need to focus on, rather than, you know, maybe peeking too much. So we got to see in that very first round, they had those mid jammers that were stopping some of those hard breaches, but they kept trying to shoot the ace charges off rather than just letting it happen. But, I mean, we'll see how this round plays out. Looks like they're going for an across from CC again, which is what happened last time. They got the Thatcher to help them with it as well.
Yeah, having that Thatcher available is just so huge for you. But, oh, the K trick. able to shut that down. So it's only a Pico. You're not able to actually go through that. And he only has one more ace charge left. Obviously, you do have that Therma, but they're utilizing that for that jacuzzi wall. I imagine that just got open. So hopefully.
Was it jacuzzi or was it a construction, I believe, that they opened? I mean, Ace,
it might have been,
you can use it for just about
yes.
anything. Yeah. So they've got those angles open for them. So, I mean, Ace kind of did his job, at least, for sort of adding a little bit of pressure. But if you do manage to get a walkway through, it's definitely going to add a little bit more of that phantom pressure for anybody who's potentially playing into that cash angle as well. Organiser is going to find himself losing his fight thanks to the 1.5 that they've recently added to that Wamai Ajax with a beautiful swift shot to remove the sledge from play. No more grenades in the pocket there. MML's going to read into that, try to get himself a refrag, as he's propped himself up nicely in round lounge just to try and make sure that nobody's flanking. Potentially going for a late lurk.
Yeah, this is what I'm talking about earlier with the meta, you know, lurking. It's just so big in this game now, and he's just lurking down in the bar. So if he's able to find any picks, but raindrops, he's doing some lurking and sneaking of his own, and he's able to shut down MML. So it's not looking good for Bandits in round 4. They're, you know, oh, that was a, my god, the confidence going through. But JBK able to shut down Glut, and I was just lost for words there. I don't know why Castle decided to run across that, but the ball.
He got away with his life still intact. I mean, he had no fear in him at all. It completely supplies JPK as well, so he was unable to get the kill yet, as Ace uses his very final charge to make raindrops fall off of his spot in the bathroom as Drift tries to take angles of that. Now, he has got control. I don't think Castle knows of it just yet. He does a quick spray to find raindrops and almost finds the second, but DDBG is going to fall himself. Now, Drift is going to find yet another kill, and JPK is going to capitalize on top of Ducko. That'll leave Ajax alone in a 1v3. But one of the players is down, so it's still potential here as well. Got the 1.5 to find Drift's head as well. That'll take it down to a 1v2 now with only 22 seconds left for Bandits to try and get that diffuser down now. You've got a little bit of time to work with, but with the pressure that Ajax is putting onto you at the moment, you have to be a little bit wary of where you decide to put that diffuser down, as you are both low. You can see JPK and DDG both just on relatively 20 HP. They decided to plant behind that chassis, which is a good place to plant now. Little Pre-Fire is going to down the first, and he's going to find the second kill as well. So, I mean, it's that 1.5. You can't tell me it's not the 1.5.
It's got to be that 1.5 on the Whammis. Ajax able to find 4 in that round and clutching and finally breaking that clean sheet from Bandits and shutting down that post plant. Unfortunate Bandits couldn't hold it down, but they sort of made it work with nothing. You know, they were 2-man down before that execute and before that rush through into bathroom, Elijah, and then they turned it into that 3v3. Then they turned it to that 1v3. But Ajax able to make it work, and maybe it is the one, you know, that Wamai 1.5, or maybe it's just Ajax. But Nutty, 1-3 right now. They've got that momentum now. They've got something to work with. They're going to move to CC now and hopefully continue that reign.
I mean, that's definitely where you want to be, right? Getting your very first defensive is definitely going to make it harder on the split when you essentially switch over to your attack side. And you don't want to switch to your attacking side with no rounds to your name at all. So you're going to be happy with that one. You can definitely imagine their morale has been boosted just that little bit, and their team confidence as well. So maybe this is where the beginning starts.
Maybe this is the beginning, not the beginning of the end, but the beginning for Nutty. But they're taking out those drones that Bandits like to pre-place. And I think that's also another thing that Bandits are doing well, but Nutty should sort of read into and try and shut down. You know, they don't have that Solus, but, you know, there's some sort of, you know, game knowledge that you know where sort of drones are going to be placed, especially on a map like Clubhouse. There's only a few places that you would know of, but cheeky little peek from, once again, that main stairs, but MML going to take the brunt of that one. And he's
no HP to be done as well to him at all. I mean, he won the better of that engagement. MML taking such a huge chunk of HP removed from him this early in the round as well. I mean, the last thing you want to do is fall that early, especially when you've still got 2 of those frag grenades in your pockets.
I thought MML was gonna do something dangerous there for sure, but oh, the play
was that
from
MML?
the Bandits there. Darko not able to trick when that Thatcher EMP went off because a nade from below was able to down him, but he's still in it. He can still get picked up, and Squish able to shut down JPK. So that's your Thatcher off the board, and only 2 more sets of nades from MML. So I think that nade came from Organiser, actually, Elijah. So that's interesting.
I mean, it worked out well. He might have fallen in the process of trying to get those frag grenade kills, but in the end, you managed to help your team open up that main wall. So that's a job well done for the moment as well. Quick swing. MML, although being low HP, is able to find the kill onto Glut as well. Work his way back into stockroom to see if he can do a little bit more vertical plays. He does have that 1 frag grenade still in his pockets as he's already dispensed his second one. He can make something work.
Yeah, and this is what I'm talking about from Nutty. Like, they were 2-man advantage up, and they're still peeking. They're not playing the side. They're playing solo. Like, Ajax is here in Logi. He's going to win that gunfight here. Otherwise, it's going to cost him. Obviously, they do have that player in Master, but if they pick that hatch, there's nothing that Master player can really do.
I mean, look at the positioning from both of them. You've got 2. Is it just 2 or 1 on the roof for the moment? I mean, they've opened up that con. I imagine that they're going to get some drones in just for the moment. I mean, MML still downstairs. I mean, if he can get a frag, work his way up red, and they can get a pinch from both construction and those main stairs as well, because Darko is quite low HP, not to mention. So there could definitely be a play getting cooked up here from Bandits at the moment. Squish, though, and Darko able to find 2 for themselves. Now as MML tries to rush up the main stairs, he does manage to connect to go and add some room, but raindrops, he's already got the angle and he's aware.
Yeah, quick response from him, able to shut down MML from making anything of that round. Being on that low HP, you do not want him to clutch that one. He definitely has the potential, but that HP is definitely going to reduce that one. But Nutty, they find the 2 back-to-back rounds, so that's bringing it that little bit closer. What looked like such a dominant performance from Bandits, they're able to, find something of their own. Nutty, they've got a response. And right now, they're only 1 round away from tying things up here in the first half. So I think, Bandits, they're going to worry a little bit. And they're going to take out that timeout. So, even though they're still in that lead, they don't want to slip up anymore. Especially being on that attack, going on that switch up for 2 would be a beautiful position to be in.
Exactly that. But let's have a look at our players at the moment. You can see Drift on those 9 kills. Now, he's been big throughout these last 2 rounds. Ajax as well, utilizing that 1.5 majority of the rounds, but you can see Darko is going to run it this round. Maybe he can get some kills for himself, utilizing that very new sign that has been added. So, I mean, all the players have been just incredible so far.
Yeah, I think, Bandits, they're playing good, and, maybe not just the fraggers, but maybe those hard support and the support players are helping, with those comms, with those pre-placed drones to give those communications out. But Nutty, they're working off each other a little bit more as well. And that's why they've been able to find those 2 rounds here back to back and finally make Bandits a little less comfortable. But going back to this downstairs, they did lose this site twice. So they're going to be careful. And hopefully they've learned from the previous 2 rounds what mistakes that they shouldn't be making and what things to change. What's working, what's not working. Hopefully they've figured it out and they can finally tie things up here.
Well, you can definitely see that just by looking at the position of these players who are all upstairs at the moment. I think they're focused on trying to get rid of some of these pre-placed drones that Bandits set up prior in the round. They're making sure you're getting rid of that util, because when you tried to roam in those previous rounds, you got to see Vigil upstairs who was just cornered thanks to the util that Bandits had over him. Now, getting rid of that util is definitely going to help your roam. Unfortunate that you don't have that Solus, but, you got to make something do, otherwise they're going to get too much control early, and that is definitely not what you want when you've got so many vertical holes to worry about and no punishment involved.
Yeah, well, if you look at that top right, you can see that those drones, there's only 1 being taken out, so there's still 9 on the board for Bandits right now, and they're going to utilize that. They've probably got most of those pre-placed as well, so they're going to be able to take off of that control as well. They've already got that CC wall open, but it looks like majority... Is the Razor already in dirt?
It looks like he might have snuck himself in. He is. I mean, did they leave it soft? Or did he... No, he used a can opener. So he's made himself in. Nobody looks like he's too aware at the moment. I think his team has got a little bit of a drones as well. Darko looks like he might be a little bit aware though. He is running down that site, so have to be a little bit careful on how you peek that as well. He got to see him do a little bit of a pre-fire, so they are aware he's going to relay that information to the back of his team now. But that's definitely adding a lot of pressure onto Darko at the moment. You got to see him get a huge HP taken as well. Utilize those impact grenades to try and delay the inevitable of that hatch getting opened. The drones are going to spot him out as well. Glass got to come to the support. Second can opener is going to be dispatched on top of that hatch as well, accompanied by a fuse to potentially do some damage, but nothing's going to connect as of yet. Well-placed impact nades. Bandit, they're going to find their very first kill as Driven manages to find a kill onto Ajax as well. Raindrops to fall to JPK.
This should not be happening for Nutty. They don't even have that kitchen hatch open. They were able to deny that with those impacts. So well played from them there, but they're just losing the picks where it's not necessary. They are trying to, delay the time, but Bandits, they don't have the control. They don't have those avenues of those hatches open. They do have other hatches, but not the kitchen hatch. And I'd say that's pretty vital. But Drift with a nice shot onto that triple wall. Ducko with a response, but Eraser with the refrag, and it's all left to squish in a 1v4. And unfortunately, he's been collapsed on an MML. Able to shut that one down. And after that timeout, Bandits definitely have woken up.
I mean, yeah, maybe that's all it took. Just a quick mental reset to make sure that no more rounds were slipping and given away to Nutty. So, I mean, 2-4 split, that's not the worst thing in the world, right? I mean, there have definitely been worse splits in past, but I mean, if you're Nutty, you got to be happy with what you've been given so far. So you switch to your attacking side now. Bandits are definitely going to feel comfortable with their split being 2 rounds above Nutty and having the advantage of being on your defense now. You got to be happy with that. You can already see. I mean, definitely. Downstairs, it looks like they're going for an extension. Look at this castle. Look at this cap can. Look at this Goyo.
Yeah, I think Bandits, they've just got the right idea for this site. Maybe,
SSG?
The operators that they've chosen is definitely going to shut down any sort of roam clear and any sort of fast push actually as well. Because, if you are that one player on the site and you hear a rush, just pop those Goyo packs and you can deny that push in. Otherwise, they're going to have to take that damage to that fire. And then you have a better chance at winning those engagements. So I think that Goyo pick, it's just a pick that we like, Elisha, isn't it? On any map. Oregon, Clubhouse, whatever it is. I just like to see it. You like to see it. And JPK is running it, so...
Hey, he's just too strong not to bring. I mean, if you have them up, you either have to clear them early, and that'll stop you from pushing in, or you'll wait too long, and then it'll eventually, you won't be able to push through those doorways and get those plants down. So, I mean, let's begin. I like the hold that they're doing at the moment. Bandits... with a full extension overall the entirety of Clubhouse to just add that pressure everywhere to make sure that they can't push in too aggressive. They are trying to get that garage control. Looks like nobody is really there contesting. They've reinforced upstairs, but where are they all?
Yeah, maybe it's a bit of a fake or something, but Nutty are definitely sort of taking their time to take it. A minute almost into the round, and they've only got this garage control so far. So... you do say that there's no one playing up here, but maybe that was the play.
Yeah, I mean, maybe wasting as much util from them as possible before they inevitably have to push downstairs, and they might have nothing left for their execute, so it could be the play. I mean, that's definitely on the board for them. I mean, imagine if you managed to waste all of their can openers, their thatches to try and clear out these mute jammers, potential nades to try and clear out corners that you maybe are unable to drone out of. You're wasting time as well. I mean, it looks like they've got that full control now. They know that there's nobody playing up here, but you still got to be a little bit careful in the back of your mind because maybe you miss something.
Yeah, that's it. Like, you don't have what we see in all these outlines. You don't have that spectator view. You are a player and you aren't aware unless your team feeds you that intel. But I think they've got the control now, but they don't have as much time as Bandits did on the same attack. So, they've got to start opening up these hatches and start to get that third. But Lonely, he's going to be the first to fall, and Ducko's going to find that one through those little footholes there. So, even though there's time wasted by Bandits, Nutty, they're picking it up here, and Ducko, he's going to pick up another. He's going to shut down MML, but JPK to find the refrag. But Squish, he's down as well. So, if they're able to shut him down, it can be that 3v3, but he's only in bar. He's able to be picked back up, and hopefully 35 seconds. Nutty can secure this round going onto the execute, but they don't have a lot of time. They're still opening up this moto hatch, so they need to do something quickly. Otherwise, those Goyo packs are going to get popped, and Goyo, he's going to pop some heads, and Ajax, he's going to get taken out.
Look at the angle on Drift now above that little music box there. He is going to get flashed though. Hopefully nobody drones him and drops that moto hatch. Looks like one person's getting ready to push in, just clearing out those head angles. Raindrops will find one, but Squish is going to fall to the headshot of Drift now. His relay is going to be as well as Glut tries to get that hatch down. A nice C4 toss is going to find Raindrops as well. The kit will be dropped and is down to the slowly kills of Eraser. So he's able to use that SMG to close out the round.
That C4 was big for Bandits, and I think if it didn't, if it did get shot, maybe we could have seen a different round, but unfortunately, it landed at his feet. Not much to do, and MML, a shout out to Chef Jeff there with the spin. The spin. But Bandits...
Oh, what a play. That was quite different.
It was, and I think those mute jammers were the biggest part of that. You know, having those mute jammers above Elijah, you're able to deny some of those drones getting into those spots, those cheeky little spots to drone out. That, like that con we saw, that drone, it got mute jammed. So even though you're not getting any contact from any defenders up there, there's still, like you said, in that back of your mind, what if there is someone up here? You know, we need to drone it out, we need to clear it, and if you're running into those mute jammers, it's just going to run down that clock, and that's exactly what happened for Nutty. They did find those picks, though, and they were able to get that plant down, but unfortunately, they fell that little bit short to that C4, and Eraser's just too nutty with that SMG.
You could imagine that all the util that they had to use to try and clear that upstairs as well, potential flash grenades or even frag grenades. I mean, there's a whole abundance of things that you needed to use. I did see that they used one can opener to get control of CC to try and open up that wall as well. So they tricked them perfectly. I mean, that was definitely different. I expected them to hold up there, you know, do a little bit of an SSG take, like extend out throughout the map, completely baited them and got themselves another round. So Bandits, they'll find themselves 3 above.
Yeah, and they're 1 round away from that match point too. So Nutty, it puts them in a rather difficult position right now. They have to win these rounds if they don't want to potentially go to that overtime. But if they do sort of slip up on this round, I think Bandits will probably have this game in the bag. But we've seen things happen. We've seen some comebacks come out of nowhere. So we never know what's going to happen. You know, it is the first round of the switch up. Nutty might just be getting that groove, you know?
I mean, if there's any time to do it, it's definitely on your attack side. So we're still yet to see the full potential of their attack. So, I mean, on a site like this is where it can all come out. Let's see what kind of sort of attack that they'll end up doing. It looks like they're going for a CC across, which is what we've seen previously from Bandits. So they might be doing the same, as Ducker is already trying to take control of this garage as well. Uncontested at the moment as well. He's got a little bit of the angles already pre-opened up for him. So he's able to secure them getting open that main breach. He's already shot that mute jammer, taking it off its place now. But I do believe they would have heard that he has got that garage control. So he has to be a little bit careful of his angles now as he takes a little bit of HP thanks to the SMGs of JPK.
Yeah, another thing that we haven't mentioned is that they only have 1 heart breach. They only have that ace, so they're only able to use 1 Selma charge on that CC wall, and they're going to save the other 2 for other things, but it looks like Ace only has 1 left, but Eraser and JPK to find picks of their own, and that is not a good position for Nutty now, as they've lost their Sledge and their Yana, so both nades off the board, but Gluttony, he has a response, he's able to shut down Drift, that's their top frag, so still, you know, winnable, still winnable. They just got to sort of calm down here and find those solo picks. But Ducko, he didn't get that memo. And JPK able to shut down him lonely with a nice shot onto Ajax outside that jacuzzi breach. And now it's all left to the breach, the hard breach, sorry, of Gluttony.
Oh, he has to be a little bit careful of his angles now, as Lonely was able to capitalize on a kill earlier, and he's going to find the second on that exact same angle. Thanks to that 1.5, making it easy for him. So, they'll come them back and they'll secure themselves yet another round. Bandits showing their superior point as they take us to match point.
Yeah, this is definitely the Bandits that we're used to. Last week, maybe going off that loss, it's woken something inside of them. They're not taking any sort of chances now. They want to get that top spot back. They don't want Panic to have that one. And definitely winning at a large sort of score difference like this is definitely going to help with that. So we will see if this will be our final round of the game, or if Nutty are going to try and crawl themselves back here. But on the attack, it's definitely more difficult.
Please tell me you saw that dad joke in the chat.
The dad joke?
Did you miss it?
I think I missed it.
After that one tap that Lonely did, he said, "Now that was a Nutty tap," because they're going up against Nutty, and they took the one tap. I don't think it was Lonely that said it, but it was a kill about Lonely. It was pretty bad. I had to bring it up.
Not the dad jokes, man. Not the dad jokes, but yeah, I respect it. I respect it. You got to appreciate the little punny jokes there, but ooh, that could have been.
You got to lighten situations up, especially when you're down this many rounds. 6-2, you're on that match point. Maybe you can lighten things up, make the round a little bit more bright for potentially. I mean, this could be the last, or maybe not even. Maybe Nutty is looking to make a shine. See a Razor. He's looking to Bandit trick, and he's got the shotgun this time. He hasn't got the MP.
You know what I'm thinking, Elijah? If that bridge gets opened, I reckon Organiser's running straight out of it.
I mean, I hope so. I mean, I've got my fingers crossed at the moment. He is getting stunned, though. It's definitely making his life hard, but he's going to run away. I mean, that's definitely the smart play to do. Not with the amount of Sophia stuns that are getting chucked at you. You weren't able to do anything regardless, so... I mean, he's backed up. He's going to use those Bandit charges back on the construction now. Nothing he could have done.
That was the smart choice to back up there. I think that would have been rather dangerous to be that stunned up and try and take an engagement out of the breach. But he's going to hold the construction. And pushing this construction with this sort of shotgun for the attackers is going to be difficult. I think they're going to be careful and be aware of the gun that he is using. Otherwise, they're going to fall to it. And I think that'll be the real tilter.
I mean, look at how split everyone is. I do believe that they know that there are so many players who are trying to hold this flank side as well. Glut, he's going to find his kill, and I do believe he was making work onto that main breach as well. Has he cleared Grudge? Looks like he has. Drift is going to try and replace that position, though, to make sure that they don't gain control of that as he holds the lower of the garage now. Accompanied by those Legion mines as well, so we can give away some of the positions who try to aggress against him now. But they've got control of that main breach. Potentially looking to get some kills underway now. Ducko, he's pushed up close. If he had those Zephyr stuns, it could be quite big. And there we go. We get to see a Razor utilize that shotgun in construction that you said that it was quite deadly last time. JPK as well to follow with another kill onto Glut to clear up that garage player. Raindrops trying to make construction work as Ducko finds a nice kill onto a Razor. They get down to a 3v3 now as well as they try to get their push underway. Ajax taking a little bit of brunt of damage thanks to the red stairs, but he's able to get away unpunished. He hasn't fallen just of yet. The Legion mine's going to be tossed. Another huge kill through a Razor now. Drift with a nice headshot Ducko to try and return as well. As he finds 2 in the kills. That'll be his 3rd in the round as the very last one is downstairs to try and stop the planner. Nice little vertical play there by JPK. Able to find the kill onto Ajax now as the kit tries to go down. And he's going to try and push up to this kitchen. No, he's tried to go for the red stairs instead. And he's able to find him as well. If he can manage to hit the shot, that'll be it. But Ducko, he knows.
Wow, he went big that round. He found, I do believe, 4 in that round. So that's what you need if you're Nutty.
He was sharp, man. That was sharp.
Yeah, I do believe he found a pistol kill as well. So playing that breach, that close breach, and able to explode into sight like that, he was able to find the refrags of his teammates. And I think that was a really, really good play. And he kept his team in this game, in this match. And, they deserve to be here. But Bandits, they're going to go down to this basement site now that it's available to them again. And hopefully they can close things out here and not let Nutty gain any more rounds, because if they do, they're going to edge that a little bit closer to tying things up and taking us to that overtime. We would like to see it, but I don't think Bandits would like to see another upset happen. So they want those full 3 points. They don't want to have any sort of reduction of points there. and bringing the operators that they're bringing right now that can definitely do so. It looks like they're probably going to do a similar setup as to last time, but I wonder if they're going to actually hold above, like you said.
I mean, that might be the game that they want to play against them. I mean, the very first time, they left it completely unattended, and then the second time, if they leave it, and they're actually holding upstairs, that could play into the minds of Nutty a little bit. They're thinking, oh, they're doing the exact same thing as last time. We don't have to worry too much. Let's just push in. And they're just going to get capitalized on, because little do they know that they are actually holding it aggressive this time. Doco doing the same sort of push. He's already got his pre-placed drone up onto the top of the garage as well. He's able to read into potentially some players being up here. Doesn't look like they are, though. They managed to rotate back down. Nope, there is that player still on top of red. Has to be a little bit careful of Doco. He's trying to get that control. He's already got the angle there. If he can manage to hit the shot, ooh, he lets him vault through, and that's what I'm talking about. They were completely unaware. Ajax finds the kill onto Organiser, as well as Ducko finding the kill onto JPK. A little bit of damage being done to Drift as well in the process, but he hasn't been punished just yet.
Yeah, but MML, he's in construction.
He's unaware!
But MML, my boy, the headset or the comms or something. What's happening?
Anything.
Anything.
Gotta put him in a rough position. I mean, 5v2 now as well, but at 5v1 now as Ajax manages to find the kill onto Drift, and that'll leave Lonely all alone in a 1v5. Now you gotta ace it. You hope anything is gonna happen. Bandits are on match point now, so this will be given to you easily now. You're able to find a kill onto Ajax to try and ease things up for you as well, but it's not gonna be enough as Glut is on that lurk.
Yeah. He gotta be careful
What's
with
happening
that, though.
with the
He was
intel?
sprinting in there, but I don't know what happened with Bandits there. They had the right idea of holding above that time, but
Yeah.
it just fell apart. So maybe playing up above is not the play, Elijah, for them.
I mean, look, if you can't hear those kind of footsteps, or you haven't got that sort of intel to help you, maybe you'd want to consider bunkering instead of maybe a full map extension.
Yeah, I don't know. I think maybe Bandits... something went wrong there. Something wasn't quite right, but hopefully they're moving to this gym. Things can change up. Things can be a little bit different, because that was an interesting round.
Yeah, that's not how you want things to be. I mean, that right there, that has potential to ruin mental. I mean, that can create some tilting. And that'll leave a little bit of a pathway, a little bit of a gap that Nutty can capitalize on.
Yeah, Nutty, they definitely are getting that little bit closer to getting into that overtime, and playing into that, they're going to be feeling good. They're probably going to be like, you know, we're still in this. They were 2-6 down, and now it is 4-6, so they're on that back-to-back. They can do it. It is winnable. You know, I said that 2 rounds ago, but it is. If they can band together and keep this teamwork that they're doing in this attacks, it's definitely plausible, but a long way to go just yet. But the mute jammer placed that a little bit late, and they're able to open up that wall, and Ajax, he's going to be able to play on this rappel, but the site is gym. You know, not all is lost for Bandits, but opening up that wall early is going to be rather irritating for Bandits. But once again, they're only bringing 1 hard breach, Elijah, so they're not looking to sort of utilize opening other breaches, other opportunities. But MML, he's going to open up his opportunities for his team, and he's going to shut down Ducko. So that's the key player of the last few rounds. He was doing wonders for his team, and he's not going to be in this round. So he's going to hope that his teammates can do something for him this time. But Squish, he's going to respond with exactly that and shut down JPK.
Ooh, MML trying to get active on top of the red stairs to find the kill onto Ajax, but you just narrowly missed the headset. The kill will elude you. You'll be able to get away unpunished as yet. Squish trying to do a little bit more frag grenade below. Didn't manage to find the second kill, but you didn't manage to capitalize on the first one. Looks like Drift is trying to avenge his friends now, as he's managed to pop himself up nicely into the stage area. There is nobody down there, though. I mean, you've got that stock player. I do believe that's what you're hearing. Hopefully you can zone in on that and realize that there is a player who was in stock.
Yeah, I'd imagine that JPK would communicate that, as he was naded from below, but it looks like Yana, you know, Squish is aware that there is somebody down below here, so he's going to rotate away and go up to that breach. But they're making quick control of this cache. They're do believe they're already in, and they are on that Sui balcony trying to pressure those in Master and the like. So they have opened up that the cash wall onto Con and into bedroom. So that's a nice little angle that they can utilize. But MML, he's got a nice angle on this shield on Condor from Master as well. But Ajax jumps straight in and able to shut him down.
I mean, he will get cleaned up, though. Glad he's going to jump in himself, though, and find himself a kill, but Lonely's not going to let us slip too far, though, as he manages to find a kill. Another trade back, though, but 2 kills on the sides. They're going to clear it up easy. I mean, that was a very slow-paced round until the very end.
Yeah, that caught off Bandits off guard. MML just... He was confident that he was about to take an engagement in Con, but Ajax jumped straight in, shut him down. He was traded, but then the just trades from Nutty, they just exploded after that. And like I said, they've made things possible here. And Bandits, they're on the back foot right now. If they let Nutty win this last round here before the overtime, that could be the real kicker. Going into that overtime, they could be like, oh, well, we've just choked 4 rounds.
I mean, that's exactly what they're doing right now. I mean, they're choking. They had so much advantage. Let's take a look at the scoreboard real quick. Let's see how many rounds are separated from these teams. I mean, if we could see that. Look at that. They won their first 3 rounds, traded back by another 2, and then yet another 3. But these last 3 rounds have just been superior for Nutty Gaming at the moment, just over and over and over again. They're not letting any round slip to Bandits at the moment, and now we're only 1 away from being completely cleared up and tied up for both of these teams. Nutty, their attack has been great. They could potentially take us to 6-6 now.
They potentially could, but I'd imagine that Bandits will not let that one happen. They don't want to let that slide. But whether they're comfortable with that or not is another question. But Nutty, they're in, they're ready. They've taken this garage. They're confident. They want this round. And if it's any sort of time to do so, this is the round to win. You've made it, this far. You gotta keep going. You gotta find this last round.
I mean, you can imagine how much of a high they're on at the moment after winning those last 3 rounds in a row, especially one of them almost being flawless. So Nutty Gaming have all the confidence in the world. But you can see Drift in an odd position. He's found himself up in strip. There is a little bit of a rappel. If he can manage to read into that, it doesn't look like he can at the moment. He's going to do a little bit of drone work as well. Drift in a nice position for potentially catching a player off guard. Doco is going to make his way down those main stairs as well. He is going to be droned out of pool, so they are completely aware that he is there. Red Pings are going to go out as well to reveal his position. You can see the positioning from Nutty at the moment, just rotating their players in order for a pinch now. Drift has rotated himself back to the junkyard entrance, and he's going to be stuck here, completely isolated from the rest of his team. That's going to be up to Nutty Gaming to try and clear this out, but this could be a big time waster for them.
Yeah, if they do choose to clear him out and they don't do it quickly and efficiently, they're just going to be wasting util drones and time, which on the site like this is vital. So it looks like they just opted that. I think they chucked down some claymores. They got some flank drones. They're going to probably have someone sit on that, or maybe someone just hold it like Squish is right now, and hope to God that they don't have any sort of bad things happen on that flank from Drift.
I mean, getting at least 1 pick right now from Drift would be completely amazing for him. I mean, taking at least 1 down before he inevitably gets cleared, or even left alone and just choked off from the rest of his team. Lion, Ajax, what are you doing? MML is able to capitalize on that, and he's able to find himself a nice kill, removing that global utility already that early on. That'll leave it down to a 4v5 now, swinging in the way of Bandits at the moment, which is exactly how they want it to be for the moment. You see a little bit of drones coming out from Organiser. I mean, that's just not where you want to be, right?
Yeah, no, Ajax, he wasn't aware of that quick peek coming in from MML, and Lonely, he's able to shut down and pump raindrops off the board, but Gluttony, he has a response. They're still in this, 23 seconds. Can they make it work? Squish is making it work, shutting down Drift. Elijah, are we going to see it?
I mean, we could, potentially. Look at Squish. He's already down at the bottom main. The flashes are coming through from Glut as well to try and clear up some space for the rest of his team. It looks like they're trying to go through a moto. Raze is able to find a kill through the headshots. MML as well. The double onto Glut now as a 1v3 as Ducker tries to create some space, but it's not enough. Razor is able to win the round for his team, and that's a GG, ladies and gentlemen. Bandits taking their win.
Just by that small amount, though. Only that, well, 2 rounds, but that last round was rather close, and we hear all the leaving after that one. But, wow.
A valiant effort from Nutty Gaming, though.
I think they did well, you know, being that...